जय माता की, जय गुरुदेव। इंट्रोवर्ट, एक्सट्रोवर्ट, ये इंट्रोवर्ट है, ये एक्सट्रोवर्ट है। वी हैव हर्ड दोज अ नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स। हमने बहुत बार ये शब्द सुने हैं। ये तो बहुत ही एक्सट्रोवर्ट है, जहाँ जाओ फटाफट दोस्ती कर लेते हैं, ये कर लेती है, ये बहुत कॉन्फिडेंस है, कहीं भी कुछ भी बोल लेते हैं। या ये बिल्कुल ही इंट्रोवर्ट है, ये शाय है। कुछ इन कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स के बेसिस पर हम इंट्रोवर्ट और एक्सट्रोवर्ट को डिवाइड कर देते हैं। और जो एक्सट्रोवर्ट होते हैं, लोगों को लगता है कि ये बहुत कॉन्फिडेंट है, ये बहुत पावरफुल है। क्या ये सत्य है? वेट until you discover the power of being an introvert. And to take us on this journey, I will now welcome Payal Jain from Bangalore. Payal जी, आपका स्वागत है।
Namaste. When an introvert talks, head turns and that's power. All of you, a warm, very welcome and happy Dashera. I'm Payal and I'm an architect, a chef, an artist and a teacher. It's so very nice and pleasing to address you, such beautiful crowd today. What is an introvert? Like man said, introvert isn't quite reserved and a thoughtful individual, but mistaken to be shy, they're being judged to be quiet. And what's an extrovert? Extrovert is someone who is always wanting to be on the spotlight, trying to gain attention. So are extroverts, because they have ability to gain attention, are they leading the world today? No. In fact, introverts have marked themselves on the world map today. From Mahatma Gandhi to so many other people around the world are all introverts. Coming to the point, why am I talking about this topic? I did have better topics to talk about. I'm an unschooling teacher, and that would be a very good topic to discuss. But I realized someone like me, to give an example and start with, as a child, I was being told I'm too quiet, stuck up, and even rude as I didn't answer many queries people asked. They thought I carried some attitude or I was very annoying not answering what I was asked. But then I realized, because I knew the truth, introversion was there in me and I needed time to understand and realize what was asked to me, not because I was shy, not because I was dumb, but because I took time to analyze, think, and reply. I knew the truth about me. It took courage to go out in this noisy world, and it takes grace to handle the expectation of social interaction. It takes strength to be an introvert, but still, you need to stand up right up there in the middle of the much led extroverts. Why? Why is this important? Why an introvert is being forced to become an extrovert? This session is open to all of you. A child whom parents think मेरा बेटा बात नहीं करता, गुमसुम रहता है, ज़्यादा friends नहीं बनाता है, or parents whom children think my parents, they don't talk much when they come to parents teachers meeting or something, they're quiet, they're shy, they don't open up, they don't have many friends. So why is it an issue? Introverts are not shy. They notice. They are thinkers, observers. They aren't stuck up or antisocial. They treasure their solitude. They prefer no small talks, fewer friends, but that doesn't mean they carry attitude on their heels. An introvert's personality confuses people. They enjoy being alone a lot, but they're still outgoing and still social. These environment dedicates how each introvert behaves, sometimes loud, sometimes quiet. They read energies in a jest. There are times they would turn up and moments they just want to read a good book or process some thoughts and just be alone. How does this help an introvert? How and why is it that we need to bring a change in people's thoughts that being an introvert is fine? The power of being an introvert, it's need to prove myself that I would be bold and assertive? No. Self negotiating thoughts, so reflecting that I wasn't even aware that I was making them, this is what many introverts do. A third to a half of the population are introverts, and it's absolutely fine. Subject to this bias that is pretty deep and in real our society, we all internalize it from a very early age without even having a language for what we're doing. To see this bias clearly, you need to understand what introversion is. It's different from being shy, and shyness is about fear of social judgment. Introversion is more about how you respond to stimulation, including social stimulation. So extroverts really care large amount of stimulation. Whereas introverts feel at their most alive and they're most switched on and they're most capable when they are quieter and left alone. A very low key environment. So, the keys then to maximize our talents is for us all to put ourselves in the zone of stimulation that is right for us. Now, in between these, we have something called ambiverts. What are ambiverts? Between introverts and extroverts. Somebody who is still outgoing as extroverts, and somebody who needs to be alone, like extroverts. I'm sorry, introverts. Sorry for the confusion. So but sometimes I just don't have enough energy to be social. I feel guilty about it. But sometimes I feel relaxed. I can energize my thoughts and give the best out of me. And that is why introverts are more successful than extroverts. Being on the limelight always, being taking the center of attention always, doesn't really make you reach the success ladder as it's said. When you're in your classroom, if a child is very quiet, the teachers complain that she's very quiet. She doesn't talk much. She doesn't answer. She doesn't make many friends. But trust me, it's absolutely all right to be like that because the child more, is grasping more knowledge than the other children in the classroom. So let's learn to embrace the power inside you in a world geared towards extroverts. Introverts gain energy and power through reflection and solitude. Our culture, however, tends to celebrate introversion. The pressure to get out there and get happier can lead people to think that an inward orientation is a problem instead of an opportunity. If you are outgoing, always being the center of attention, it is said that you will get many chances and opportunities in life. But at the same time, it's okay if you're an introvert and if you're silent, quiet, to the point, and still outstand when required. The exact opposite is true. Introverts can capitalize on this inner source of power. We are going to discuss more on how introverts can take full advantage of this hidden strength in daily life and more confident in the world. Revolutionary and invaluable introvert power includes ideas for how introverts can learn to claim private space, bring a slower tempo into daily life. We need to understand how to care for an introvert. If you think your child is an introvert, Some a teenage child is an introvert, your friend is an introvert. Like I said, one third of the population is introvert, and you realize you are an introvert. So, what you really need to do? It's very important the way we care for them to bring the exact power out of them. Respect their need for privacy and spend time on their own. Be careful never to embarrass them in public. When they are in a new situation, allow them to stand back and watch what's going on. This is especially for the parents. Allow them time to process anything they are asked or to say. Don't demand an answer right away. Be patient if they hesitate to find the right words and never interrupt while they speak. If you're going to change or cancel plans, give them plenty of prior notice or give them enough time to adjust with it. Allow them to practice and perfect skills alone. Trust me, to tell this speech out here today, I had to come down and stay alone for hours together to bring on all the right information and talk about this topic to all of you. Allow them, correct or challenge them privately, never in front of an audience. Don't force them to hang out with a crowd of people or expect them to amass a lot of friends. Don't force them to be an extrovert. Allow them to be who they are. It's very, very important because solitude is a catalyst for innovations. They are going to innovate plenty of things if you allow them to be who they are. Many children are being forced to stand out, talk, do the stage competitions and speak out, participate more in class. In a way, it sounds right that if children participate today, they are going to be ready for the competitive world out there. But it's not true. Like I said, solitude is a catalyst for innovation. They need their stimulation is in lower keys than the extroverts. So they need time. They need time to analyze, to understand, and go about it. When I was a child and I was in between a lot of people, the best place for me to escape was washroom. So yeah, if you observe your child just running away to washroom, seeing a lot of people, then you need to understand that your child needs time off. Your child may get scared with a crowd or a lot of people. So many professions that I took up in life was because I always thought I need to get to the other side of being an extrovert. I need to be an extrovert. I kept pushing myself. I never knew it's not wrong to be an introvert. So I think 6 years ago, I started with this women's club called Free Height, thinking that this was one of the steps for me to step out to that social world, reach out a lot of people, be in that crowd and face it all. So as being the founder and always, being in admit so many people, I was good on stage, good with the mic and did all the events, everything well. But I couldn't make friends more than three or four. With a crowd of 500 ladies, I couldn't. It wasn't that I was shy or I couldn't talk to them, or neither did I carry some kind of an attitude or, grudge. No, it was simple that I couldn't really make more friends than the inner circle I chose to be or I could connect with. So I realized how big an introvert I am. And it is not really wrong. I still reached my destination easily. So, an introvert, it's not really important that they need to become an extrovert to gain their goals. In my profession so far, of being a teacher, teaching culinary, art, craft, and unschooling children, I didn't really think there was a need to be an extrovert. I could connect with my children, with my students really well. A small group of crowd with me was comfortable. But yes, to talk to them, to give such speeches, I really need a lot of practice because I was not somebody very prepared. And then I realized when I was teaching my children and pushing them, motivating them to stand out, public speaking, and to take up that mic, I realized we should not be forcing them. It is not important. They are into some other world. They are being more innovative and they are going to make it bigger in life if we let them be how they are. So, dear parents, it's very, very important to let your child be the way they are, and it's okay if they don't make friends. It's okay. They are not going to go under depression. They will only if you force them to do something which they don't want to. They will go under a depression if you force them to meet a crowd and exhibit their talents and face audience and make more friends irrelevant to their choices. So, throughout my profession, when I was running a boutique or so many different professions I had, and I kept skipping till I realized finally, I don't meet me. I don't connect with something I am. An introvert trying to do professions that they don't really match up to, trying to be an extrovert in their profession, is nothing but faking themselves. Even if they try to do that, it is just for the time being. They cannot be that all the time. So I realized I should be taking up something that I am satisfied with and I love doing. So here I'm putting myself as an example just because I know I can connect and I can talk about my experience as well. And I can put forward that, and maybe you relate with it and you can connect with someone you know or yourselves. So when I was in college, I participated in a lot of events, like real lot of events. Met hundreds of people, took part with them, and did a lot of work. But at the end, when I left college, I had just three friends, and I could connect only to them till now. So why? And but still, I achieved my goals. I did what I had to, as popular I was known, without being an extrovert. So yeah, here is what I want to talk about and tell you all that being an introvert is absolutely fine. It is not in disease, it is not going under depression, it is nothing to do with it. In fact, being an introvert is more that we have to bring up in our kids. The quieter they are, the calmer they are going to be more productive in life. Extroverts always need to force themselves to look the person, always outstanding and in between a crowd, center of attention kinds. They always have to push themselves ahead because that's what they are trying to be and trying to do. But introverts do not have to. And talking about ambiverts, somebody in between introverts and extroverts. And if you realize and understand who you are amongst the three, it's perfectly fine that you're doing with yourself after this. So you need to analyze what you are, an introvert, an extrovert, or somebody in between who adjusts with the environment, who just detects according to whom they are with, and who tempers themselves in the environment they are pushed to be in. So if you are in a crowd where socializing is important, where there are a lot of people dancing around you, even if you're in an introvert, you do along, you do dance along, you do move along. You need to be a part of them. That's what you feel. And that's exactly when you're pushing yourself to become an extrovert. But an ambivert balances both perfectly. So does exactly what the environment around it requires. I wouldn't be make it too boring or prolong this like in lecture, but I kept this class so that both of us can interact and talk. I really want to understand from the audience that have they ever gone through this feeling, seen amongst their children, friends, or something, and what do they think that is it really important for them push them and become an extrovert, or it's okay and accept them as they are. So I would like Harsha ma'am to pull in questions from the audience and put it forward to me. Harsha ma'am. Harsha ma'am. Okay, I think she's not around. But if you have any queries, and if for me to understand on this subject and give you the right kind of advice, you can always. Okay, I got some chat here. Um, Waiting for your chat. Till then, I'll just continue with. Okay.
Hello. Okay.
All right. So let's check on the platform for questions, and till we receive some, I'll go ahead. So Mahatma Gandhi, he was an introvert, and all of us know what he has achieved. So, father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, believed that being quiet, still being strong, being adamant to our own thoughts, and understanding and being exactly what we can process in our thoughts is important. He thought we can make this country independent even without lifting up the guns, and he exactly did it. Why didn't an extrovert like, say, Subhash Chandra Bose or Bhagat Singh do? Because Mahatma Gandhi, being an introvert, had more thought process, more deeper connection from within himself than the other freedom fighters. And that exactly I want to say here and prove that exactly is being having the power of being an introvert. So we don't have any questions yet, and in case we get some, we will go forward. So before I would go ahead again, I would like to say many children amongst, I could say in a class of 100 children, 80 children are introverts. So the teacher and parents really need to understand these children that some may be musicians, some may be artists, some may be writers, some may be, real good in their field because they are introverts. Introverts later on and from their in their life, in their stages, can become journalist or TV news reader or say an actor also. Trust me, that is only for stage or in front. That's it. Behind the door, back screen, they are still introverts. So introverts can achieve what they want. They do not need to be forced to become extroverts any point of their life. But yes, extroverts are forced and have to become ambiverts or introverts to keep balance within themselves. We still don't have any questions out here. All right. So I think that is it. I'm waiting for the questions. In case you have any queries, please put it forward, and I'd really like to answer them all. Till then, a small break maybe. Okay, somebody here wants to know the message. A manifesto for introverts. So here I go. There's a word for people who are in their heads too much. Thinker. The next generation of quiet kids and must be raised to know their own strengths. Sometimes it helps to pretend to be an extrovert. There's always time to be quiet later. But in a long run, staying true to your temperament is the key to finding work you love and work that matters. One genuine new relationship is worth a fistful of business cards. It's okay to cross the street to avoid making small talks. Quiet leadership is not an Emeron anymore. Love is essential, and introverts do fall in love, though they feel shy to express. In a gentle way, you can shake the world. That's what Mahatma Gandhi said. This is a manifesto for all you introverts out there. People need to understand how to love an introvert. You don't need to break their shell to know them deeper. Because breaking a turtle's shell kills them. Know them by loving them to extent that they crawl out to you, and once they let you in, don't break their trust. As an introvert, I crave for meaningful one-on-one conversation with a like-minded person. And I think so most of us who are introverts do that. But when we are in a large group, we tend to become quiet, or often we get lost or in the shuffles. We will shut down completely if the crowd is too large or loud. We will also try to be the part of this crowd, but in our own ways. We'll make an early exit as soon as we feel overwhelmed. The truth is, we feel more lonely in larger groups. You need to understand us the way we are, but those conversations that we have are because we connect. The introvert that I think I am, I fought it for a long time. I dressed myself because I wanted to become the life of a party, or which I would need, for which I would need a week to recover. I would never speak of something amount of time spent in solitude, but I was striking as an introverted person. Ironically, at the same time, I craved an honest, real connection. Maybe that is all an introvert really is, a person craving real people so much so that they are prepared to enjoy their own company. Introverts are capable of acting like extroverts for the sake of work. They consider important people they love or anything they value highly. And they pretending to do that is also fine. They always have their time out. So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, and all you parents, youngsters, allow your nearby people to become what they are, to be what they are. Being an introvert is not going under depression, very clearly. It's about letting somebody be in their own space, having their own time, but still standing out in their fields. So yeah, I I take a goodbye with this session, and if there are any queries which is waiting for, can follow my mail ID, and or you can note it down. I can leave it on my chat box as well. It is Payal, Payal, Prehan, Prehan, 11 at gmail.com. So yeah, I think we have another half an hour to go, but the session of 30 minutes was for the crowd that I wanted to connect and actually understand and do more survey on the queries I get from them. And maybe I could relate and answer their questions. So if you still have somebody there, please put it forward. Thank you so
Well,
much.
Payal,
You can anytime get in touch with me with my email. Namaste.
Well, Payal, that was quite a session. As far as I could understand and what I see of you, you come across to me a lady or with lot of things inside you and wanting to give it away to whoever is there to take it.
Thank you.
I have a question. I just wanted to ask you. Uh, I don't know. In my own age of what I have lived, these are relatively new concepts. Like the terms, I would say, the introvert and the extrovert. The personalities always existed. पहले लोग बोलते थे ओ ये बहुत बातें करता है और ये बहुत क्वाइट और शाय है ऐसे बिल्कुल क्लियर डिमार्किंग होती थी. Now I would like to understand, is any of these qualities, either or, the extrovert or an introvert, is it inherent or is it circumstantial? Can it be overcome? See, sometimes being too much of an extrovert also is not very suitable to personalities. So is not being an introvert. So coming back to my question, is it inherent or is it circumstantial, and are there any remedies?
You are not too audible, but in whatever little I could hear, I'm trying to answer you.
Should I
In
ask you
case I'm
again?
not to the point, you can ask me back. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was not able to hear what you said too loud, but in whatever I understood, I'm trying to answer that. Yes, I think you asked about inheritance of being an introvert. Yes, today I would say my
Either
father
and.
is an introvert, I am, and my son is. So when teachers told me that your son is too quiet, doesn't make friends, he doesn't have any friends, so you need to force him, put him in a lot of other activities where he make friends, does a lot of, conversations with them, push him forward. But I internally realized my father, being an introvert, has been really successful in his field without any hassle. And me, myself, being an introvert, my teachers in the class called me as a dumb doll. In fact, I was so quiet. They asked me, "What is your name?" And I never answered. So they always complain, my parents, that she needs to talk, she needs to make friends, she's always quiet. So please, her marks are good, but she needs to talk. This way she cannot lead the world. But my parents gave me my own space and felt it's all right, this is what she is, and that was the right motivation I got then. So this girl who was so quiet in her school went out to learn, say, fly a microlight in just 10th grade. So I used to ride desert storm in 10th grade. I did all those things that not many people get to do when they are just in 10th grade. Why? It was like a question that I thought, and that's why I chose this topic today, in fact. It's just that when I was more quiet and more to myself, I could connect what I am, what I want, and not what people want out of me. So I thought when it came to my son, it's all right for who he is. He's spending more time with himself, and it's all right. So spending more time with our own selves to the outer world, it looks like we are an introvert. When I passed out my school and I was in college, like I told, I took part in a lot of events and very popularly known girl I was. Though I was quiet, though I was still the center of attention, maybe still gaining that because I was always on the stage with a mic in the hand and always talking in the mic and in front of a crowd of thousands of students and my teachers and principal and guests out there. But I never felt shy. So I realized again, being an introvert is not being shy. It's not about being shy. So if a person is shy and if a person is not able to do this, that means that person needs to be pushed forward, needs to be motivated, and needs to learn to outspeak. But an introvert is not somebody who is shy. An introvert is somebody who is according, who dictates themselves according to the environment they are put in. So my stage required me to talk. My stage required me to hold the mic and speak out. I did. I wasn't shy. But otherwise, with thousands of people around me, I couldn't speak to anybody personally, one on one. I couldn't make real new friends. I couldn't say anything about hi, hello, and a smile, maybe. So that is why I understood that I am an introvert. And then when I came into my professions, so first I was in interior and architecture by professionally and by qualification, and that's how I started working. Then slowly I picked up on my teaching skills, and I am a teacher from 15 years now. So then I realized if I'm a teacher, I need to outspeak, need to address so many people, and
That,
be amongst so many people. But I was comfortable. I felt it's okay. It's for the time. It's okay. So that quiet girl who never knew to answer her name, who couldn't even really talk, make more friends, had hardly one or two friends, today is addressing so many people. Sorry, is in between a big crowd, is leading a club where there were 500 ladies from past 5 years. So I think, when seeing this, I realized my son also inherited the same quality. And I realized it is fine. They need their own time, their own
that,
space to grow. And they will grow gradually with their own thoughts. I realize my son is more smarter than me, though he doesn't really make friends. He's about an 8-year-old and has no friends at all. And I too didn't make friends till I was 10. So that was not my weakness. Though then I did think, so what happens when a child is being said, or when a child thinks that I'm not capable of making friends or talking to people or really interacting in the crowd, they take their introversion as weakness, and then they start adapting to that nature and start treating themselves like that, and that demotivates them to do anything in life. And maybe their surrounding and environment also does the same to them. So today I chose this topic just to tell these people out there, to especially parents and children who think, okay, I am not capable just because I'm not having many friends. I'm not capable to stand out in that because I am not too talkative. So it is wrong. It is not like that. I have done a lot of survey on this. Like I said, the biggest example whom all of us relate to. Elton John, Bill Clinton, or say even Mahatma Gandhi, all were introverts. They have shown the power of being an introvert. So, whoever, you need to understand what you are. These terms are new, and why are they discovered and why it's new is because many of them thought this is because of depression. A, two, like you said, inheritance. Parents are quiet, children is quiet, and so they are quiet. It's not true, not always true. Third, they think they are not capable of. They think I am dumb. They think I'm not. I can't be there. So that feeling kills the affirmation that they need to give themselves, that I am what I am. I am happy the way I am. And people around also need to feel that it's all right. If 100 of them are dancing today here and one girl is sitting quietly on the table, it's fine.
Okay.
It doesn't mean she is standing out of the crowd or she needs to involve. No, you don't need to make her feel like that, or neither does she have to feel about herself. It's absolutely fine, is what I think. So, inheriting, I'm not pretty sure. Though we generations together, I can see that we are all like that. But yes, it can also be that we adapt ourselves like that because we grow up in that environment where we see our parents being like that, our surrounding, our environment being like that. We too become like that. It's possible, though maybe few of us are extroverts. Maybe, and because we are in that kind of environment, we behave or try to be an introvert, or it can be vice versa. It can be that our surrounding, our parents are quite loud, talkative, or outstanding, always trying to be center of attention. And since we see that and we grow up and we too try to become like that, but internally we are not. So I would advise people to actually sit down, calm down, meditate, understand first what kind of a person you are, who you are, and that will help you professionally, personally, and will you will reach your destination of your life, the purpose of your life in a right way.
That's true. That's true. That's because I've always felt in my own example. I'm a daughter of a defense personnel. My dad was in the Indian Air Force, so given to his transfers, we traveled quite a few cities in the country, and so is my husband. So my children also got to travel similarly. My daughter did her schooling from grade 1 to grade 12 from 13 different schools in the country. So like you said, not to be able to make many friends. So as she was growing along, she always found her friend in me. So she always relied on me as a friend. And the transition that I saw in her was, like you said, phenomenal. We just let her be. We took her to different places. We put her in new schools, observed her how she was performing, what she wanted to convey, what she wanted to say. And I realized that slowly, over a period of time, she would happily go and adjust in a new environment. If we went to Shillong, she adapted the culture of the Northeast. While we were posted at Pune, oh, she became a complete Maharashtrian. So, to let them be, to just let it be, I think that is the best situation for a parent to be in. Initially, just observe your child. If required, that is the time to probably intervene. Otherwise, the parents today are so paranoid and so obsessed with their children that probably
Right.
from day one they begin to plan what the personality of the child will be. Oh, she has to be a go-getter. Oh, they need to be reaching there. Oh, they have to be tech savvy. That is the modern thinking of a mother today. There is nothing wrong with that. But you, at the end of the day, have to analyze and observe your own child first. Everybody cannot be the same. If they are introvert at one particular age, probably there will come a time that they would be the most extrovert person in a gathering or in a place. And it could also be a vice versa. So that is why I asked you. And the way you answered was very correct that yes, sometimes probably even circumstantially or your circumstances or the environment around you can also bring about that change in your personality. So I think What you said and how I connect with you when I look at you, it is really so reassuring that there are people out there like you who are extending that kind of support to the society that really needs it in today's times even more. At the time of Corona, I thought the best of the extroverts had to come back to being an introvert because they had to live with themselves. And in my own example, I love people. I have always been people's person. But these 7, 8 months, when I connected with myself, honestly, truly, I've enjoyed being an introvert, if you say? No, probably not. Being with me, by myself. I discovered myself in many an aspects and I connected with a lot of things that I was missing on. So I think at the end of the day, it is important to realize what you really are made of. So extrovert and introvert, I don't think they are permanent. Do you think they are permanent?
No, they aren't permanent. It does happen that they fluctuate or they change. Like you said, your daughter
Exactly.
had changes. They do change according to situation or environment or the places they go. So there are few extroverts when they travel abroad, they become kind of nervous with the new environment around them, and suddenly they just isolate themselves. They become an introvert by themselves. So they just
True.
want to calm down and not talk to anybody and be within themselves because they're scared. So slowly they adopt this habit, and because they don't relate or connect to people, or they don't feel the necessity to show their stimulation.
Exactly.
And there
Exactly.
are times when an introvert is put out there, like me myself, when I was put out there among so many of them, and I had to talk like today I'm talking. So we we do get nervous. We stumble on words. We forget our words,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
for the moment we don't understand what to do. So if we are put up in a situation like that, where for a long time, say movie industry or say journalism or somewhere, they really need to talk more than show their actions through their work. So automatically you start becoming and
True.
start trying to be that person, but it's more that extroverts convert to introverts than introverts. Introverts are being always forced to become an extrovert. They're always being forced. I would tell you that in India you might have experienced or seen many parents call their children, if they have learned some new rhyme or some
Yeah.
shloka or something, they tell, then there's some guest at home, "Ki come, sing,
Along with
show me
that.
dancing, show you have learned this." The child really shies away and just doesn't want to. They do try, but trust me, that is the first step of them backing out from telling you that
Obviously.
what they know, what they don't know, because
Exactly.
they feel they're scared. They feel that if they accept it, they have to exhibit in front of an audience, which they don't want to. They
That's
can't be
true.
by themselves, so they start hiding out. Like I told you, my biggest hideout was my washroom. So as soon as I used to see a lot of guests, I used to run away. So it was like I felt I was this calm there. Yeah.
True.
So we introverts can find our place anyhow, but
Anyhow.
extroverts not. So they slowly can turn as age processes also. Like you will see many extroverts from the age of say 20 to 35, but after 35 or 40, you will see them slowly converting themselves to introverts because they realize being an introvert is not just connecting to yourself, but being more spiritual, connecting to
True.
our mind, soul, and body. Most of the introverts, as they process their age, they can actually, when they close their eyes, they can connect with every nerve of theirs because they are so connected to their thoughts, to themselves. So
Very
extroverts
true.
also do convert themselves slowly to introverts as age processes, and this
Yes.
vice versa also here. So there are few introverts, when they grow old in their old age, suddenly they become an extrovert
We've seen
because
many of
they
them.
want to gain attention, because they want care. So they think that being an extrovert will pull in attention. Even children do have this. Just to gain some attention, they try to become an extrovert. They convert themselves, or they try to behave like that, because they feel being an extrovert always, you can gain some care and extra attention. People will watch you, or they'll notice you.
True.
So, for the sake of it, I have seen that younger children or very old people, either of them, they do happen to convert themselves. Otherwise, according to statistics, most
It has.
of extroverts convert themselves as introverts as the age processes. They calm down more because the maturity comes. They understand, and they don't feel the need to talk so much. They feel lesser the words, more the better, or you process more. You do not really want to, like in lockdown, you said during Corona, you met 7 to 8 friends of yours or something. An introvert would be really happy that, अच्छा हुआ lockdown हो गया, Corona हो गया, now
Yeah.
finally I get to be myself or with
My
me.
nice.
I can grow plants, I can read book. Oh my God, I've got so much time to listen to my music, do what I really want to, and not what everybody wants me to do. So they are
Wonderful.
vice versa. And few of them who are extroverts, it's not wrong to be an extrovert. I would like to correct that. But extroverts are welcomed largely by the crowd.
True.
So it's not wrong, but extrovert in that same situation would always spend more of time on social media, maybe video calling a lot of friends, and but loneliness is something that they haven't, dealt with.
Experience.
So it's too
Yeah.
difficult for them to adapt, take, and maybe it took months for them to just understand that it's all right to be alone, because they've never met themselves. They always need and company. So introverts are happier here because they finally want to be with themselves and they don't really need much. So when an introvert falls in love, also falls in love truly, because an introvert can connect to very few people, and they don't really connect easily with many. So though those few people are, they can connect only because spiritually they have connected with them. They feel that they can talk to them for hours together, like they can talk to themselves. So we will find, real lovers in introverts than extroverts. I don't want to go give
Yeah.
examples there, but yes, extroverts are more of a flirt kind, maybe. I'm not too sure again, but yes, that's what the survey says.
Sounds all right. So that really has given us quite an insight into the strength of being an introvert, right? And Payal,
Yeah.
this was
So
it
the
was a
power
great.
of being an introvert, I mean, the headline was chosen like that because I wanted to reach out this message to a lot of people that it is
It
an
will be.
power that you are an introvert. Don't demotivate yourselves and don't put yourselves into depression thinking that you can't or you are not or you're not capable of.
No, we really appreciate and uh, grateful for all your input into this topic, which is quite relevant, very important for the generation that is now and also for people who are growing older. And we once again take this opportunity to thank you on behalf of Brahmarishi Parivar and
Thank you
have a
so much.
wonderful evening, a happy Dashera, enjoy your family time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Jai
much.
Mataji, Jai
At the
Gurudev.
end, I would just like to put up this thing. My last message to all you parents out there, please try and understand what your child is and let it be the way it is. Do not force your child to become an extrovert just because you want them to outstand amongst 100 other children. They will do it by their own style and their own way. But if the child is shy, and if the child does not want to come out of its shell just because it's shy, then you really need to motivate your child. Apart from that, please let the child grow the way it wants to. Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity
Thank
and
you,
looking
Payal.
forward
Thank
to
you
two
so
more
much.
sessions.
I'm sure you can hear this much louder than what I can do it for you. And
Yeah,
because you're
thanks.
an introvert, you can hear the sound. Bless you. Jai Mata ki Jai Gurudev.
Jai Mata Di.
अभी हमारे साथ थी पायल जैन जिन्होंने एक बहुत ही सुंदर टॉपिक द पावर ऑफ बीइंग एन इंट्रोवर्ट हमारे साथ डिस्कस किया। मुझे एक आप सबसे एक बात दिल से कहनी थी कि अब धीरे-धीरे समय होता जा रहा है, हम समाप्ति की ओर चल रहे हैं। इससे पहले कि और कुछ घंटों में हम वहाँ तक पहुँचे, मैं आपसे ये कहना चाहूँगी कि वेरी शॉर्ट व्हाइल में अभी कुछ समय में आप सबके पास एक फीडबैक फॉर्म आएगा, वर्चुअल नवरात्रा के ऊपर। आप इसे एक ऐसा ही मैसेज सोचकर छोड़ना दीजिए। आप इसे इग्नोर मत कीजिए। आप प्लीज़ इसे पढ़िए। स्पेयर अ मोमेंट, टेक अ लुक, गिव अस योर फीडबैक। हम भविष्य में ये वर्चुअल नवरात्रि कंटिन्यू रखेंगे। आप सोचते होंगे कि वर्चुअल क्यों? हम तो आश्रम जाएंगे। बिल्कुल सही। हम में से बहुत लोग आश्रम जाएंगे और बहुत बड़े-बड़े उत्सव मनाएंगे। लेकिन आज के इस युग में जब टेक्नोलॉजी ने इतनी एक्सपेंशन कर ली है, तो हम ब्रह्म ऋषि परिवार हम जानते हैं कि हमारे पास कितना टैलेंट है और हमें इसे दुनिया तक कहाँ-कहाँ तक पहुँचाना है। हमें 700 करोड़ लोगों तक पहुँचना है। हमारे गुरुवर का हम पर इतना आशीर्वाद है कि हमारे पास सब कुछ है। बस हमें एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म चाहिए जिसके ज़रिए से हम जन-जन तक पहुँच सकें। आपके फीडबैक, आपकी सकारात्मक फीडबैक और जो भी आपकी हमसे अपेक्षा है, आपकी वो फीडबैक विल बी ऑफ ग्रेट हेल्प टू अस। प्लीज़, प्लीज़ do write your feedback and send it to us. We will appreciate it. You will soon receive a message. Do not ignore it. Spare a moment. थोड़ा सा समय दीजिए, अपना फीडबैक दीजिए। आपकी ये फीडबैक हमें भविष्य में और दूर दूर तक विश्व भर में पहुंचने में और फैलने में सहायक होगी। मेडिटेशन सेंटर में हमारा कार्यक्रम अब समाप्त होगा। अब इसके बाद हम जाएंगे माता हॉल, जहां देवी कथा सुनेंगे जैसा कि हम रोज सुनते हैं जितेंद्र जी श्रीमाली से। तो अब हम मेडिटेशन सेंटर से चलते हैं माता हॉल।